wish I had more notice. Oh, look, I'm not even on the screen.
And it froze for some weird reason. 1 minute.
Hey, painting pals.
There you are.
Hold
You're back.
tight.
She's back.
Hey, painting pals. Welcome back to Mandy's Minis Live.
You can tell it's live because of how well it's going.
Yeah. One of those fun things. All right. Well, today I have some exciting news. We are finishing up these fantastic chibi figures. They're chibi Sisters of Battle 40K for Adepticon. So anyone going to Adepticon, you'll be able to see these on display and pick them up at the Impact Minis booth. I absolutely love Impact Minis. They are fantastic company.
Love you.
I love you. All right, bye. Ben is abandoning me today, so we're going to struggle through this on my own, which is why we have the early start time. So.
You've got this. You can do
it. He just yelling some words of encouragement. So we're gonna muddle through. And we'll see how well this goes. And I don't have high hopes, in case any of you were wondering, and that's because I have had a really, really terrible day. And honestly, I'm glad to be painting and have most of it over. And tomorrow will be better. That's just how life goes. You know, sometimes you just get bad days. And today was one for me. And I don't want to talk about it, so that's going to be fun. But, you know, it's nothing majorly wrong, nothing spectacular. So, not a big deal. Again, tomorrow will be better. It was just a rough day today. But now I get to finish up painting these awesome guys. I am so excited about finishing them and getting them off to Impact Miniatures so that they're all ready for Adepticon. And I think they are looking fantastic. So as long as my bad day doesn't decide to head over to my painting, I will be very, very happy. Last thing I want to do is be this close to finishing and totally ruin it. So let's hope that my bad day stays at work. That would be awesome. But as you can see, we're almost done. Just basically all that's left on these guys is the metallics and the basing. So we're going to get through all of that today together, and then they'll be all set and ready to go. So it's very, very exciting on that end. But that's where I'm at. Again, really glad you guys are here, that you're joining me. Not really sure what we're going to talk about or how the whole day is going to get, the whole night's going to get filled. But here we are. And I don't even have Ben to bounce ideas off of, so I'm literally just trying to wing this on my own. It's not the first live stream I've ever done on my own, by the way, so I have done it before. Just not very often, and well, I always worry that those aren't very good. Let's be honest. It's always easier when you have someone to talk to, especially in this kind of format. But we'll make it through. We'll do fine. and hopefully you'll enjoy it. But I suppose that we will just have to focus more on the painting, since we are a painting channel anyway, so. But this is officially my last commission for a while. So once this is gone, I am commission free, and that is so that we can expand the studio. We're actually going to be knocking down some walls, and, well, a wall, and making some more room in here. So we'll be rearranging everything. And I still plan to make videos and do the live streams in between as we're doing that. So you don't have to worry, the content isn't going to be disrupted. But I don't want to, oh no, I'm making a little bit of a mess here. Alright, but yeah, I don't want to bring someone else's minis in here while construction's going on, so unfortunately those will be, I keep saying unfortunately, but honestly I'm kind of looking forward to it. I have not gone more than a week without painting a commission since I started. So it'll be really nice to have all that time for just myself and finishing up some of my own projects. And hopefully my regulars won't be missing me too much or needing me during that time. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Get a whole lot of stuff done. Things that have been, you know, just sitting and waiting for me to get to them, like, you know, updating the website and things like that. Get this touched up a little bit more. Now I am going to do a second coat on this for the metallics. They're just, they haven't been underpainted, and one of the things you almost always want to do is underpaint your metallics, because it really helps with that look, the metallic look, and makes them pop and things like that. Again, I didn't do that here, but that's okay, because I'm going to go ahead and do a second pass on them. Right now I'm going to let that dry a little bit more. Then I'll come back to him, do a second pass, and then I'm also going to, oh, hello, Izzy. Yes, Tiamat is going to be one of the first things that I finish up. She's so close to being done. So that is definitely going to be one of the first. But I'm so glad you found me early. So we've had a crazy day over here. It has just been nuts, and yeah, now I'm on my own. But that's okay. Ben will be back. But okay, so what I want to do is, after I do a second coat, I'm going to go through with some contrast paints. Actually, I may just do a wash instead, just to kind of bring out some more of the detail within the metallics. So, but I'll do that after a second coat once this one dries a little bit more. And in the meantime, I'm going to move on to the next one. So, that would be this one here. And we're going to get all of these guys done up today so that we can get them to Tom in plenty of time for Adepticon. But they are coming along really good. I'm very happy with how they're turning out. So, hope you guys like them as well. But we are down to the last final views. Oh, that's good, good. You probably missed all my woe is me stuff. I had a really bad day today, so just kind of glad to have that over with and to be getting a lot of this done. And then I'll probably actually, to answer the Tiamat question, I'll probably end up finishing the Imp first and then heading back to Tiamat. And that's, of course, after the next video. I do have to record the next video as well, so that still has to happen. Then I can get to Tiamat. Plus, this week is actually a game week, so we'll be playing D&D on Saturday. So it'll be nice because I won't actually be painting that day. That'll be like my first real day off from painting in a while. But I'm very excited about it. I think we're going to have a very fun game. Just have to remember where we were, because last time we played was about a month ago. So it's been quite a bit. Okay, and that's where the hilt is. Where she's holding the sword. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so first question, everything okay? Yeah, it was just one of those rough days at work. You know, not really anything life-shattering, nothing really wrong. Just one of those, today was a bad day, and I will be really happy, or I'm really happy that my day at work is over. Although I'm not looking forward to tomorrow too much because, of course, then I'll be dealing with the fallout of some of today, but it'll all be fine. It's not a big deal. So that's to answer your first question. Not really a big deal at all. And then, you know, just a little rough. We all have rough days now and then. Tomorrow will be better. It'll all be okay. And then Ben is just, he's got a family thing. He's running to pick up his parents from the airport. So their plane comes in. So he'll be there getting them and dropping them off at home. And then he'll be back. But family obligations. But that does leave me by myself. Which, it's harder to live stream by myself, but it's not impossible. I've done it before. I'm sure I'll do it again. Actually, one of the reasons we started live streaming was so that I could live stream while he did some of the editing for our videos. But then we started hiring editors instead. So, because it's just more fun with him on the stream, having someone to talk to. Yeah, I've been left on my own, abandoned for his parents. That's okay. They're great people. We love them. And they do a lot of great things for us. So, of course, you know, his parents are very supportive and kind, and, you know, we can repay the favor. So, I do. I enjoy having Ben around, too. That's kind of why I married him. But he, yeah, just for the day. It'll be alright. He'll be back. The other question you mentioned about the imp. I'm excited to see the imp being done, too. Hold on, let me grab up, because I kind of lost some of your comments here. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. He'll probably be back before the end of stream anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much. And the airport's not that far, and his parents' plane was supposed to land at like 7:30, and he didn't leave until just now, so he'll actually get there late, which they know about. And then after that, he'll be back. Probably bringing me a shamrock shake, because, you know, shamrock shakes, he started a whole cult about it, worshipping those shamrock shakes. Yeah. Yeah, Ben's a great guy. I'm very lucky. That's one of the worst things. Like, you have a bad day and you want to complain about it, and it's like, yeah, but overall, I'm still very lucky and very happy with my life, so I really can't complain too much. But today just did not go to plan. Okay. There we go. All right, see, second coat. It looks so much better. And wait till you guys see it once we put on the wash. That is going to look amazing. So one more thing I want to do with this guy. And that is, I want to put writing on his purity seal. When you guys are doing writing like this, you want to keep it really small, which means very light touches. And you're not really trying to make something readable. You're just trying to make it look like there's something on the page. Because let's be honest, something that small, written, you're not going to see that from a distance anyway. So it's not very realistic. But it does still look pretty cool when you see that writing. So that came out pretty good. Very happy about that. All right. So now he's ready for the basing and the wash. Come back and do some touch-ups over here. Second coat and whatnot. Ooh, Get these buttons I missed in the first place. There we go. Awesome. Spikes on her armor I missed, of course. Alright. There we go. And for the sword, the silver, I think I'm going to use one of my favorites for armor is doing like Space Wolves Gray contrast paint over it. Oh, excuse me. But I think that's gonna look really, really sharp. And I totally missed this whole section of gold over here. Alright. So you guys gotta let me know, what kind of metallic paints do you guys like? I think my two favorites are AK and Vallejo. Specifically the Vallejo Air. Those have been really good. But I did get some basic acrylics, Liquitex, that are metallic. I got these for Christmas. And these are really, really sharp. But they're very colored. I only got the colored set. And they are really, really nice. They hold a great shine to it while still having good coverage. So, and that's all without looking like it has heavy pigments in it. Like sometimes when you put metallics down, you know, they just have that metallic look, like something is in them or on them or something. And this has that nice smooth look. So I like that a lot better. But I really love the Vallejo Air, especially the chrome. That paint is insane how high it goes. There we go. Okay. A little bit of touch up on the dress or skirt or whatever that is she's wearing. Right. All right. Wonderful. She's coming along very nicely. And then we've got the next one. So these figures are just awesome. I really can't tell you how much fun they are to paint. If you haven't tried painting a chibi, you should definitely give it a go. Impact Miniatures has some awesome pop culture chibis. I've done the Labyrinth. They have the D&D cartoon, all the characters from that. That's actually how I found Tom. I was looking at those and I had to have them. Bought the entire set from him and we got to talking, and now I paint for him. So absolutely love that. But they have some really amazing figures. So Princess Bride. They have the entire Firefly. Oh, I'm glad you got the chrome. I love that Vallejo consistency. I totally agree with that. Sorry, I'm used to Ben keeping an eye on the on the chat, so I have to keep remembering to look up every now and again. Um, but okay, let's see. He has the entire cast of Firefly. I know Izzy was getting excited about the My Little Pony ones he has. Chibi My Little Ponies. What else does he have? Ben got excited because he's got, you know, that Dresden book that Ben keeps talking about. He actually has a Dresden figure, so of course I got that for Ben. Haven't painted it yet, but I've got it for him. And what else? I mean, there's just so much. He's got Thundercats. He's got all the classic Hollywood monsters. Those are pretty awesome. There's quite a few really amazing figures he has. So if you haven't tried them, I would definitely check them out and get a little something. Because again, he's going to have at least something you like in there. Because there's so much pop culture there. And some of it's just like really adorable and fun. Like, seriously, he has this, I painted them like, I think it was for Gen Con. It was actually right, I painted it right when Ozzy died. But it was little mice figures, one looking like Freddie Mercury and the other looking like Ozzy Osbourne. And they're very cool, and I got those like literally right around the time Ozzy died. I was still painting them for him. So those are pretty cool. But he has just so much really neat stuff. The chibis are so fun to paint, and they're so good for practicing because the faces are bigger, so it's like you get the benefit of a large figure when doing the face and the skin tone, but with the body being regular size, it still goes nice and quickly. So they are just really a blast to paint. What else do we have going on now? Let's see. We're supposed to have a new video out for patrons today, but it had to go back to the editor for some corrections, so that will be delayed a little bit. Oops. And then what else is going on? I don't know, there's just not much going on other than once I get this out, we're going to start preparations for the wall and the construction. And like I said, I do have plans. I'm going to I have to do the video first, then I'm going to probably do the imp, and then Tiamat, and then, I don't know, maybe my D&D character, because I'm supposed to have that ready for a game, like, Saturday. It's not going to be ready. But that's alright. It'll be fun anyway, even if my figure isn't ready. Yep, I know you do. Those chibi ponies are very cute. Ben and I were talking, I was thinking, you really ought to do like a Rocky Horror one. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know, I just kind of feel like the D&D and, you know, just kind of gamer community in general tend to be really big fans of Rocky Horror. That whole cult classic kind of following thing. But haven't suggested it to him yet or anything, but I was thinking that would be a good one for him to have. All right. Looks like that one's gonna need a second coat, but otherwise it's pretty good. I'm gonna do second coat on this one where I haven't done. Those are the areas I missed the first pass. Oh no, I made a mess. I'll have to clean up the mess. I'm hoping not too long. I'm hoping the construction will be fairly quick, because I mean it's literally just tearing down one wall. So as far as that goes down, I'm kind of hoping they can knock it out in a day or at least one weekend. But the other part of the problem is we're pulling up the carpeting as well. And I figured that since we have to move everything, we should paint before we move everything. So, you know, now I've added the painting part. So I'm kind of hoping one weekend they'll have that wall down and that whole back area will be emptied up and opened. And then the next weekend I can start like painting. Ben can pull up the carpet and I can start painting that weekend in that area. And then we'll move everything into that area, because that's actually going to be where I'm going to be. And we're going to have to actually change some lighting in there as well. So again, that might be a little bit longer, but I mean, Ben can change a lighting fixture like that pretty quickly. So hopefully that won't be too bad. But I'm kind of anticipating the entire studio to be a mess for probably about 2 months. But the idea is that this area is going to be last. So once that area is all ready to go, then we're going to take all of this and move me over there. So that will be hopefully one weekend of just moving. And then we can set up this area for what this is going to be. Ben and I are going to be a little bit more separated, because I believe the plan is his desk is going to be in this area and mine's going to be way over there in that new area. So we'll see how that goes. But considering how much we share, like the paints and the airbrushes that were used to being just like right between us, he might end up further over than we're initially planning. But yeah, so we plan to kind of do it in chunks. But I'm kind of figuring probably, you know, taking down the wall, taking out half the carpet, and then the painting, so that's painting and the light. for that half of the room. So I'm thinking that's going to be about 2 weekends there just for those two things. Then a weekend of moving. Then probably another weekend, pulling up carpet, and then another weekend of painting and setting up this area. So yeah, I'm kind of figuring about 2 months, which means probably about 3 or 4. So I've actually turned myself off for commissions for 4 months for it. Hoping I don't need all of that, and I'm still going to be streaming, and I'm still going to be doing videos and all of that while all this is going on. So we're going to be minimizing problems that way. But again, I just don't want, there's going to be dust coming up around and who knows what, and I don't want to have someone else's figures in here that I'm responsible for during that time, because I take having possession of someone else's miniatures very, very seriously. It's these, we know how expensive figures are, so I want to always be super respectful with the figures and make sure that they're going to be well taken care of, and I can't guarantee that with construction going on. But I've never done a project like this before. The most I've ever done is literally paint a room. And we've rearranged in here, but even then it wasn't massive rearranging. I rearranged my paint and stuff by taking it all down, cleaning everything, and then putting it back up in a weekend, but that's not the same thing. So, but no, I've never ever done construction in a house before, so we never did any renovating in my parents' house or anything like that, so. And Ben and I certainly never did anything this big in any of our houses, so it'll be quite interesting to see. I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't worried about it. But it should be fine. They know what they're doing. They say they know what they're doing. So, oh. Yep. There we go. What do you guys think? Hat, leave the crab white, or make it gold? I'm kind of leaning towards gold. I think gold. Sometimes you just gotta ask the question just to realize you know the answer you want. Ben hates when I do that, but I don't care. If it gets me the answer, then that's all I care about. But when I ask the question, I don't think I know the answer. But it's one of those things, like the minute somebody says something else, you're like, no, that's not the answer I wanted you to say. So suddenly you know what answer you want. So you know what the right answer is suddenly. Happens to me all the time. Like I said, Ben hates it. Oh no. Big mess. I'm getting sloppy. Yeah, I'm really expecting that lots of dust, so if dust gets on my figures, so be it. That's fine. But to get dust on someone else's figure, especially when it's wet with paint, oh, that would be awful. Because you're not getting that off. I have enough trouble with my old figures with cat hair. Because at our old place, the cat hair, or the cats, or I didn't have a separate room for painting, so the cats were always around when we were painting, and that meant everything ended up with cat hair on it. So a lot of my old figures, they just look fuzzy because all that cat hair got on there. It's what happened to my first Tiamat. She actually got very, very fuzzy, and I couldn't get it off, and I knew what quality I wanted. So I gave her away to Dan, and I said, I knew it was a figure he liked but would never buy. So I just gave it to him, and I said, here you go, you get one, you can paint it, but you gotta deal with the cat hair. And then I bought myself a new one. So that's the one I've been working on. And we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be good. But just have to make it there in the end. Look at how close we are, you guys. We are almost done with these. I'm actually a little bit upset that I'm not going to be able to see them at Adepticon this year since we're not going. Just a little bit. I'm not, like, horribly upset. I'm not going to cry over it or anything, but it would have been nice. But I'll see them next year, so it'll be okay. But yeah, so this weekend, yeah, you should. I mean, even if, because I know you guys don't really play Warhammer or anything, but neither do we. But there's so much painting to do, and there's so many classes you can go to and take, and they're fantastic. I've done 2 with Francesco Farabi that I just rave about. They were amazing classes. And I did take one that I really didn't like. I didn't care for. It was supposed to be painting leather, but the way he was teaching us to paint the texture, it was just kind of like a rough cloth. We were doing crosshatch, and crosshatch isn't leather. So, and English wasn't his first language. So, I don't know if that word got lost in translation somewhere, and he had not meant leather, even though the class stated leather. But did not care for that class. That was the only one I've had that I didn't like. I also took 2 from the late great Michelle. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Her last name's eluding me. But she was absolutely amazing. She did a Blood, Guts, and Gore class. And she did a advanced shading with color theory class. That was really cool. I cannot remember her name. Farnsworth. Michelle Farnsworth. And sadly, she had a brain tumor and passed away recently. But again, I did get to take 2 of her classes, and her Blood, Guts, and Gore class I mean, first off, you guys know how I feel about Blood, Guts, and Gore, so I loved it. But her class was just so much fun. And she absolutely adored Blood, Guts, and Gore, and just like I did, so it was very much one of those learning from a kindred spirit on that end. She was absolutely amazing. And she had done like one of her Golden Demon entries that was really cool. I actually have pictures of it. Was this like goblin carnival, um, and it was so cool. Like there was like a goblin being shot out of a cannon and stuff. Um, so just a really awesome person and an awesome painter. So definitely and sadly taken from us way too early. But I feel very, very fortunate to have gotten to take her class. I've got so many of her handouts and stuff that I still save and use. But there's supposed to be some painting classes at Meeple. Oh, very cool. I still have to look at what Meeple is. I haven't actually checked that out too closely, but I'm gonna have to check that out. One of the really cool things. Okay, so finishing up with Michelle Farnsworth, one of the really cool things about her class with Blood, Guts, and Gore was she actually had the difference between blood spatter and blood dripping and, you know, like how blood actually works when with different injuries. So I got like this whole handout pamphlet on that. It was so cool. So that was, like I said, very, very awesome. Very, very cool painter and teacher. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to take some classes, there are some absolutely amazing teachers. And that's how I found out about Francesco Farabi. I wanted to take his class, and I didn't know who he was. And I, you know, of course, checked it out. And I was like, wow. Now I'm even more excited for the class. I was just excited about the topic. So definitely check out who's teaching and see if you can get into any classes. Because, oh, it's so worth it. 9 out of 10 times. Like I said, I had one bad class. Out of all the classes I've ever taken, one I was not happy with. But then the other thing, so I've got to check on Meeples and see what that's about. But it was actually suggested that I should submit to do seminars at the IPMS Nationals this year. And they're going to be in Indiana in August. So it's not very far from me. It's very simple. And, you know, I've done seminars for their local branch competitions, so it would be kind of cool to do it for nationals. I'm just a little torn on what topic I should cover and recommend, because typically the IPMS is more models. It's International Plastic Model Association, but it is more of like your cars, your airplanes, your ships, things like that. But there's a whole new branch of miniatures and a lot more miniature people joining. So that has been really cool. I mean, obviously, I'm one of them, me and Ben, but a whole bunch of that. So that's been really cool. That's how we met, you know, a lot of our friends on there. It was through that club. So I'm very excited, but I am struggling on picking topics. So you guys are going to have to help me with that. Let's see. Meeples itself is a charity organization, underprivileged youth, but they do charity through games. Oh, that's awesome. Convention in KC. They also have an in-person, the lavender brush. Yes. Yes. Also 3D printed pieces and all of that. Hi, Craig. It's so good to have you joining us. So we were talking about nationals, because it was suggested that I should submit to do seminars, and I was definitely thinking, to cover kind of every topic really well. My brush care, doing a seminar on proper brush care would be good. That went over really well at the Great Lakes Challenge, the local branch competition this past year. Ben thinks I should do OSL because that's always a popular topic. But also with so many new miniature painters joining, I was thinking that maybe there's some other things that I should be, some other topics that I could be looking at, like, oh gosh, skin tutorials, painting skin, a layering, another nice simple topic. Skin is also a good one. Oh, I'm so glad you're getting more confident with OSL. Glazing. Glazing I want to get better at before I go into that. That's why I don't have a video on it yet. Okay. Yeah, layering and blending. Yeah, those would be good topics. So, I don't know, is there anything else that you guys think I might be missing on that? That would be good to kind of cover everything. Keep trying to, again, I'm not comfortable with doing a lesson on glazing, especially because most of the seminars are like an hour long, or at least 45 minutes. So I don't really want to go too hard with particular topics. Sheer fabric. Sketch glazes. Huh, I've never heard of sketch glazes. When to not use certain techniques. That's a good one. Wet pygmy hippos. Yeah, I think we're good without the wet pygmies. Besides, I already, well, I'm gonna have to send that back to Tom when I send these off for Adepticon, so I won't have the wet pygmies anymore. Old leather video was good. Yeah, here's the thing I will tell you about my old leather video. I was terrified making that one. That's one like glazing where I've done it several times, but I've never truly been great with it, and I've never really been happy with it. And then I was like, you know what, there's just so much leather here, let me at least just bite the bullet, do it, whatever, it's fine. Let people see that I'm not great at it, because that'll make them feel better about it. So it's okay. And then it turned out spectacular. Like, I was floored by how great it was. And, like, that was the first time it ever came out good for me. So, Yeah, so that was my leather video. I don't know what happened there that suddenly it was like I had some massive skills with it that I never had before making that video. But if you're ever gonna get it, you know, that's the time to get it, when you're doing it on camera. So that's pretty good. But also, the other question I wanted to talk to you guys about was what kind of questions do you have as miniature painters? Like, what? I was gonna throw together a quick video, like, answering your miniature painting questions, where it's like a bunch of things that you want to learn that maybe don't fill up a whole video by themselves. Oh, I'm so glad that it works, that it worked that well. I do gold without having to resort to glittery gold. Okay. That's a good one. Yeah, that's actually going to be in the paint. So it's kind of more of which paint to use, but that's still a great question and would be absolutely perfect for the video that I was talking about, where, you know, they're quick questions that, you know, on its own it would take maybe 2 minutes to explain, so I can't really do a whole video on it. But if I take a bunch of them together and just answer all those questions like once, that would be very cool. One on painting white or black, because those are hard to paint. Yes. How do you know when to stop? I actually have had that video. That was one of the first videos I ever planned on making. But I have this whole thumbnail in my head that just says, I quit. And if I had put it up back when I first wanted to do that video, like 5 years ago, well, more 3 years ago. I've only had the channel for 3 years. But nobody would, like, get the joke of the I quit. Because that's not really the point of the video. It's not me quitting, but that's, like, this fun clickbait. There's clickbait and then there's fun clickbait. And I think that one's fun clickbait. You guys might be mistaken, but... How to paint fur. I actually have white fur that I did. That was my April Fool's video the other day. Explain zenithal, when to use it and when not to use it. Okay, so I do have a video explaining zenithal. Well, hello from Germany. It is so nice of you to join us. Ashen, yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that name because I'm going to just butcher it. Even though I am part German and I have family in Germany that I've never met, but I've never been and I've never met them. I've only met the ones that have moved here. Yeah, Guten Tag. I do know that one. Ben and I were learning German for a while. This was, oh gosh, years ago, before miniature painting. And it was actually back when Duolingo first came out. But I actually got so mad at them when they started going to the shady pay systems and things like that, where like they messed up my streak and wanted me to pay to get it back and all this other stuff, and I was like so mad at it. I just deleted it and stopped learning German. But we keep planning on picking that back up. So, all right, that would be great, Izzy. Guten. Yeah, it is Guten, not Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Wait, Guten. Well, I know it's Oh gosh, it's been too long. I don't remember all that much. But it's a fun language. And, you know, growing up, my German side of the family, they actually would sing happy birthday in German at all the birthday parties. So, like, my family was that German. But all I could ever do was follow along making sounds in that sounded like what they were singing. So bad with languages. Really jealous of those of you who speak dual languages. Like, that is not easy, so you've got all my kudos. But, yeah. So we are talking about Ich liebe dich. Hey, Ben! Alright, so Ben has joined the chat. This is a Western oh. Yeah, I'm jealous. I have a whole bunch of trinkets literally from Germany that were given to my mom and from my grandma. And of course I have those, and like I said, Germany, big thing. And, you know, my dad was actually born in Austria. My grandparents, my grandma was they were living in Austria, but she was actually picked up and taken to a German work camp during World War II. Not anything like a concentration camp, because, you know, first off, she was Catholic and she was German, so they just put her to work. My grandpa somehow, I don't know what his story was during the war, but he somehow ended up in Canada during the war. I don't know what happened there. No one ever explained it well. And then after the war, he came back to get my grandma, and then they moved back through Canada and then trickled down to Illinois. Oh, good. I am so glad. Are you stopping for the Shamrock Shakes? Like, I have to ask, because, you know, you have that Shamrock Shake cult. These chibis are from Impact Miniatures, and they are Sisters of Battle, which is 40K, Warhammer 40K. I know I've missed a whole bunch of comments there as I was talking. Chugged a Shamrock Shake for dinner. And I don't think he has Twitch on his phone. But okay, so these are from Impact Miniatures. They are chibi versions of the Warhammer 40K Sisters of Battle, and I am painting them up to be on display at Adepticon for people to buy at the Impact Minis booth. So that's what I'm painting up here. So I'm putting the finishing touches on them tonight, and then we'll get them shipped out to Tom from Impact Miniatures so they can have everything all ready to go at Adepticon. So, very cool situation on that. Thank you. Should I jump to Twitch? Supposedly Twitch has less lag than YouTube, so we stream to both. And that way you guys can choose however you want to watch. And don't have to pick one if you don't like that platform. I mean, technically I could stream to, like, Facebook and stuff like that with this, but I just don't feel like they're set up the same and that sort of thing. I feel like YouTube and Twitch is really where it's at for live streaming. And even then, my Twitch channel is very, very small at the moment. Hoping to grow it, but we just started the Twitch channel this year, so it is brand new. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's so good. YouTube seems to be... Yeah, YouTube always lags behind 2 minutes. Driving, this was easier to pull up. Yeah, be careful, Ben. You know I'm gonna freak out about you driving. You should definitely not be on chat while you're driving. That is not okay. For those of you who don't know, Ben is usually on with me. That's my husband. And he likes to paint up, well, he doesn't really paint. He likes to make bases and terrain for the minis. So he's usually here with me and helps me read the chat and all of that while I'm painting. But unfortunately, he had to run out today and pick up his parents because they just got back from a trip. So he's went to the airport to pick them up and will be joining us as soon as he can. So till then, we're kind of muddling through with me on my own. And I think we're doing okay. Everyone. Oh, very cool. Well, I really only focus on miniature painting. I don't actually play Warhammer myself, but I love the figures, especially Nurgle. Nurgle is my absolute favorite, but you kind of caught me on the right night because I happen to be painting up, you know, these are chibi versions, but they're Sisters of Battle, and they are getting ready for Adepticon, so, and we do go to Adepticon. Again, you don't have to play Warhammer for it. It's huge for just miniature painting in general. But Warhammer has some amazing figures. And furthermore, most of my commissions, because I do commission painting, and most of them are Warhammer related. So I've been getting a lot more D&D figures lately. But still, I think the majority has been Warhammer. But I also do tutorials on YouTube, painting tutorials and things like that. But again, not really anything playing-wise or lore-wise or anything like that. So, but yeah, I'm glad you found us, because we always enjoy chatting with new people, and especially anyone else enjoying the hobby. Do you paint the figures, or are you, like because I know some people are just into the lore, and others are just into playing the game, and then there's others like me who are just into painting, and then there's those who do all of it. So, and of course, if you know anything Warhammer, you probably know Vince Venturella, who is like one of my painting heroes. He's absolutely amazing, and he does like on YouTube Warhammer reports and stuff, battle reports. I've never watched any of his battle reports, just his miniature painting, but I know he likes, he has Skaven. He does a lot of Skaven armies. And I'm just getting messier and messier. He had 14-foot Wow. What? Where were they? Were they in Alaska again? I only ask about or guess that they were in Alaska because every time they go to Alaska, some kind of family problem comes up. So seems to make sense. They keep trying to go and having a good Alaska cruise, but and again we're jumping to my in-laws, kind of jumping conversations here as they come up and chat. So all right, that up a bit. I got another mess up over here. Boom. Okay. All right, now we're getting back on track with this one. Okay. I was getting a little excited about the conversation and just, kept missing everything. Sometimes it's real easy to miss all the dots. Especially when you're not paying enough attention. Alright. So there we go on that. Clean up here. That's the other thing I was doing with the black. There was one other little cleanup I was doing. Nope, totally lost it. Okay. Alright, but we're doing good. Oh, excuse me, guys. It is really hard to be the only one talking here. So I had a few figures. It's from 90s Chaos Beastmen. Oh, very cool. Okay, alright, so you're a little new. That's alright. Welcome to the hobby. That is awesome, and especially the ones from the 90s. One of our patrons, Matt, has a whole bunch from the 90s that we got to check out, and they're some really cool sculpts. I actually kind of like some of the old stuff better. And one of the conventions, the miniature painting conventions that I saw, I believe it was Roman Lepat was going to, and they do something called the Olden Demon. Oh, they were in the Caribbean. Oh, well. I'm glad they had a fantastic time in the warmth while we were freezing over here. But, yeah, so the Olden Demon, I guess, is a parody on the Golden Demon, and except it's all for old from the 90s and stuff. So online, you should be seeing a lot of those old figures coming out pretty soon as people are preparing for it. But if you check out Roman Lepat, I think it's Lappat, he is on, I follow him on an Instagram, and he should definitely be painting something along those lines very, very soon, because like I said, I found out about it through him. So that might be something you want to check out, because again, he's an amazing painter, absolutely mind-boggling, one of the best, and he'll definitely have something really, really cool and special in store for that. Alright, but now I'm just moving on to a simple wash. I'm gonna try something kind of interesting here with the smoke. I'm actually gonna try, because it's dirty, I'm gonna use the Agrax on it so that it feels more like a dirty, grungy exhaust smoke. And I'll probably come back with some white on the highest parts to bring it back to a little bit more smoky, but like a dirty, smoky engine feel to it. Just like up here with the exhaust. Look at how cool that looks. I really like the Agrax over silver sometimes for different effects. Especially if you're going for some kind of dirty effect. It looks really neat. But for the rest of the weapons, I want to keep it clean, so. But I do want to do the gold bits here with some Agrax. There we go. Just kind of help make it pop. Just a little bit more. Marauder made of tin. Oh, that is so awesome. I actually was gifted an old D&D figure that was one of the lead ones from back in the I'm not sure if it was like either really late 80s or early 90s. But that thing was a heavy paperweight. I've never painted a miniature that was so freaking heavy, and it was only this big. You know, it was a horse. It was a guy on a horse. But you know, it was for such a small figure to be so heavy, but it was so cool to paint, and to have that little history. So, but yeah, I mean, I would love to see some old Warhammer stuff. At Gary Con, I went to, Gary Con is a more D&D based con, and we went there last year. And I found some old Reaper miniatures from the 90s that are metal. So I did get a bunch of those. I haven't gotten a chance to paint them yet, but I do have those and ready. So. But I am using the contrast paint. This is Griff Charger Gray. So it's Games Workshop contrast paint, and I've thinned it down to be more of a wash to add some more color and shading to the silver metal that I want to still keep looking clean, but I want it to have a little more of a dynamic look to it than it does now. But that is a great way to, like, if you're looking to get some variety with your metals, that's a great way to do it, is to use different washes or contrast paints. Very fast, very easy, as you can see, but then they end up looking, come on, sorry, this brush has gone bad. There we go. But such a fast and easy way to make them look different and yet still be the same metal. So there is that. She is done except for the base, so I'll get to the bases last. So coming back around. And the nice thing I like about the contrast paint is because you can do it either heavy or you can thin it and make it a little thinner. So you have a little more control over it than you do with a wash, which is just thin and gonna run wherever it wants to go. And then we can paint up the sword here. Okay, and I feel like I've been painting and missing you. Okay. Original Citadel paints. Wow. Okay, you need to check out, I don't know if you're on YouTube or Twitch, but you need to check out a painter called Ninjon. John Ninus is his real name, but he goes by Ninjon. And yes, it really does. But Ninjon has a video where he took some old Warhammer paint from the 90s, and his wasn't liquid. His was his was kind of in between. It was definitely starting to dry out, but he found ways to try and reactivate it to see if it was any good, and he could get it to work, and that was a fun video. So and he, again, amazing painter, absolutely one of the best. I love watching his videos. He's very entertaining as well, and he is very heavily a Warhammer painter. So you'll definitely get a lot out of his videos, especially if you're learning to start. But no, don't get me wrong, you can watch mine too. Mine are geared towards beginners. All my videos. Happy to have you, but one of the ways I recommend learning is to watch a bunch of different painters and different people, and that way somebody is going to explain something in a way that clicks in your head. Because sometimes somebody will say something and it just does not make sense, you know, when they're teaching you, and you're just going, okay, yeah, no, I don't get it. And then somebody else says the same thing, but, you know, they might word it a little different, or their inflection is a little bit different, and suddenly it clicks in your head. So I always recommend check out a bunch of different people when you're learning a new technique, and see what works for you. So that's why I do a lot of recommending of other painters and other channels, because there's a lot of great ones out there. And I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. But yeah, it's really a great community. So, alright, there's one more down. Just needs the base. And I hear Ben. He just came in. So he will be with us momentarily. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that OSL is working for you guys. I know it's one of those hard techniques, but once you get it, and once, you know, you kind of get your head around it, it actually becomes kind of easy. So I am so glad you guys are enjoying that and did well with it. Ben didn't even say hi. He literally came in, dropped his stuff off, and ran out again. Don't worry, he'll be back. I promise. Right, Ben? You're not ditching everyone?
Nope. I will subject them to my presence shortly.
Alright, there we go. Said he will subject you to his presence shortly, in case you guys couldn't hear that, because I doubt you could. From the other room. All right. And see how much nicer that all of that pops once you add just that wash or contrast paint. In this case, it was a wash. But, and we've got one more here, and then we're on to the basing. Right. So close to done here. There we go. A little bit right there. And switch to the Griff Charger Gray for the sword. Very nice. You guys have got to try these chibis if you've never painted a chibi. They are so easy to work with and so much fun to paint. The proportions just make it easier to paint, on top of them being cute. So, oh good, I'm glad you guys heard him, and thank you, Izzy. I am so glad you guys are liking them. I think they're looking amazing. I'm really happy with it. And I have a really cool formula for the base that I'm using. So this is, I already did a couple of them with this base, but basically I want the bases to look more like an alien terrain, you know, not Earth, not the normal ground that I would, you know, basically the normal terrain that I would normally do. So this is actually, it's a contrast paint. It's called Gilman's Flesh. So it's a flesh color. And then I'm going to put Agrax over it. And then I've got some really cool tufts that I'm going to add to it. And the tufts are red, to play off the red for the Sisters of Battle. The red coloring that they always use for Sisters of Battle. So I think it's awesome. At least it was on the other one, so I'm really hoping it carries over to this one.
Craig says chibis are out of his comfort zone, but I guess I gotta try one sooner. And Izzy says she's super happy with her Gilded Goblin brushes.
Oh, I'm so glad. Craig, did yours ever arrive? And yes, you really do need to try. Oh, thank you. Sure enough, guys, Shamrock Shake, just like I told you.
I told you I was gonna.
We all knew. Well, except we've got some new.
Hi, Izzy.
We got
Craig
some
says,
new
yes,
watchers. We have. I can't pronounce his name. There he is from Germany.
Asherban.
Yeah.
Actually ordered another 2 so that I have a backup. Can't beat the price,
Wow.
and they honestly work great.
Yeah.
They do.
When he was 16. Wow, he's got to be amazing. Let's go with this Thin Mint Ice Cream Sundae.
Oh,
Well,
that
hello,
sounds good.
Donnie.
That sounds good.
That does sound very cool. I don't know.
Welcome to the cult of the worship of Shamrock.
Yes, Ben created a cult of Shamrock lovers. Shamrock shakes, mint, chocolate chip ice cream, you know, any of that. Mint.
Craig says
So.
my Gilded Goblin had to visit Colorado before getting to Michigan. They just had to get a little bit of that Rocky Mountain High.
Right, you know. They had to get their wanderlust out. But did they ever make it?
Yes, he said that he got it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, awesome. And how are you loving them? I always want to know, especially on products I recommend. I want to make sure everyone loves them as much as I do. So, it takes something special for me to actually recommend it. But Gilded Goblin, man, I was just floored. All right, one down.
Craig says he hasn't opened them yet due to schedule challenges, but he will this weekend. Izzy is impressed at how well they hold a point.
Oh, I love the name Christian. Thank you. Much easier for me to pronounce. So, yes. Okay, what else were we saying? Yeah, they like are ridiculous with that point. Like, I swear I have done some things where I'm like, oh my gosh, that point is done for now. And nope, it popped right back. No problem. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but whatever it is, they're doing it right. So definitely recommend Gilded Goblins. But oh my gosh, and Christian, you have got to send over some photos.
Craig's getting all fancy with the languages.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that translates to something along the lines of "My name is Craig."
Yeah.
Or you can call me Craig.
Right. But yeah, Christian, you got to send me some photos of his painting, because that's got to be amazing. I wish I had gotten into it when I was younger, but I never did.
You can post them on our Facebook.
Yep.
Mandy's Minis on Facebook, or her Instagram, which is Mandy Rosema.
Yep.
That's actually a really good idea. I share your work link. Can we share a link to the Discord?
That is actually how you get to the Discord. It's currently, that's a patron feature.
It's a members only thing right at the moment.
Right. So
we'll have to figure something out.
We will definitely. That is a grand idea.
Thank you very much, Craig.
That is brilliant, and yeah, definitely have to do it. You can do it in the community tab on the YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Or you can go to mandysminis.com, and you can't share it there, but you can get the website, my email address from it.
And we'll make sure to get it posted and show it off to everybody.
With permission.
Exactly. Assuming
we don't show off your guys' stuff without permission. So if you want to send it to me and not have it public, don't worry. I won't post it or anything like that without your permission. So, want to make sure
secrets around here.
Yeah, I want to make sure that you guys are all taken care of.
So what'd I miss?
Oh, you missed so much. You missed all the talk about Germany.
Okay, I heard a little bit of that.
Yeah, you were in the car for that. That was right around when you came.
I only commented at stoplights.
Good. I feel better. You missed all the talk about the conventions.
Craig says the base is looking good with those two reddish tones.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, that's the cool thing about contrast paint. It's only one tone. Contrast paints work like speed paints. I know you've probably used those with Dan. So it's the same kind of thing where it looks like one color in the deep recesses, but the highlights, it looks like a different shade. You know, it's a shade lighter on the highlights. So, contrast paints are, I think they were the first to do it, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
Craig says, oh, sweet.
So, yeah, they're very cool. But yeah, I love this. And the thing was, the whole reason I grabbed it was like, you know, I'm looking for something weird and different, and I never use the skin contrast paint for skin tone because it just doesn't look realistic enough for me. It doesn't have enough depth.
Craig says the second coat beefs it up again too.
Yeah, it really does. And wait till you see it with the Agrax over it. It's gonna change and shift totally. So it looks very cool. At least I think it does. I'm hoping you guys agree.
What was the Instagram name again? It's just Mandy Rosema, right?
Right, yeah.
Mandy.Rosema?
Izzy should know. Izzy, can you check? Because I can't. My phone is already in use right now, so I can't.
And I don't
check.
have Instagram, so.
But I don't think it's dot. I think it's just MandyRozema. When I first started up.
Mandy Rosema, no spaces.
No spaces.
Oh, she even put up a link. Perfect.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Izzy.
you, Izzy, and thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody.
You know, you guys are the best. And you know what? I know he's not here, but I do have to include Luke in that. Luke is awesome. He had his one-on-one yesterday, and I will tell you, this guy is so awesome. I'm going to give him a big shout out. Izzy
is the best tech support ever.
Yep. He is able to get the Green Stuff World coagulated blood that I love so much. And so he's sending me some because I can't, it's hard to get here in the United States.
It just takes forever.
It does. Well, it's a lot of difficult. So he's sending me some because he's just such a great guy. You guys all are. I swear, my community is the best of the best, and you guys all absolutely rock. I can't say thank you to you guys enough. All right, so here we go. Now we're gonna go to the Agrax. But I am going to switch to a bigger brush for that. Right.
Do you have any idea how much shaking these need?
What are they?
I'm
not even looking.
The metallics you gave me yesterday.
Oh, they don't.
The colored metallics.
They don't need shaking.
Okay.
I've never shaken paint in a tube. In a pot, in a bottle, but not in a tube. So.
Anybody gotten a chance to use the Vallejo
Yep, we were already talking about the metallics.
Fine. I won't drag the conversation down. You have a new follower on Instagram.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, we have a vortex shaker. It is fantastic.
Yes.
We have not put googly eyes on it like so many other people do.
Nope.
I'm not quite sure what the obsession with googly eyes on the paint shaker is, but...
Well, because they shake.
Yeah. I'm not even.
All right.
Izzy really likes the Vallejo TMM and wants more of it. I want to get myself some. Our local hobby store has it, so I may be picking some of it up soon.
Oh, the new ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones that you were gonna get for Christmas, but they wouldn't have gotten here until this week from Amazon.
Yep. That kind of defeats the purpose of Christmas presents.
Izzy wants to know if anyone else has an Instagram, and she says she'll follow if they do. Hers is the same as her username. So, yeah, go check everybody out.
Yeah. Bring the whole community there.
Exactly. We don't have to just get together here.
That's right. Well, we are planning to do more with the Discord as well. So right now it's only the Discord is exclusive for patrons, but for patrons we're talking about doing potentially paint-togethers, and possibly D&D games, and what else?
You just want me to run so many D&D games, don't you?
I do. I don't, actually, but...
I was going to say, the more of them are run for everybody else, the less I'm going to be able to run for you. So I'm going to wind up giving away all my really great ideas. Izzy says says that sounds fun.
And one of the things that I was also thinking about was potentially opening the Discord up a little more public with just a separate section for patrons. But I'm not sure about that, because there's got to be some benefit for being a patron.
we want to provide you guys value.
Right. There's got to be some value for it, but at the same time, I do want the community to be more inclusive. So, that's kind of where I've been on the fence. But all right, guys, look at how cool that looks and how much fun that is with the different colors now that I've got the Agrax on. Like, I just love this base color. It reminds me of like Arizona kind of desert with the red rocks, and I think that's Arizona, right?
Yes.
There you go. Sorry, I don't go to the Southwest. There's little evils there, and it's hot and dry. But
you're so cute sometimes.
Well, at least someone thinks so. Okay, and then these are the fun tufts that I'm gonna put on. I'll wait for it to dry, obviously, otherwise they're never gonna stick. But that's gonna finish those off.
Craig says nice depth on the base now.
Thank you. So yeah, I think they're gonna be awesome. And then I did also have a few mess ups here that I wanted to touch up on a couple of these figures. It's right there up front.
He says, "Holy red tufts, Batman." Careful, we're not that kind of channel. It's a family show, which is an interesting thought if you think about what you have to do to get a family.
Not a family show.
No, but it's an old joke.
That's the old Ren Fair joke. If you go to a Ren Fair, you'll probably hear that joke a lot. As they start getting into the body humor and the little dirty jokes, they'll say things like, "Careful, it's a family show," which is an interesting thought when you think about how you get a family. Something that goes completely over a child's head, but the rest of us get
Adults think it's hilarious.
Get a little laugh out of. So,
especially if you have a 13-year-old mentality,
which Ben does.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'm making up jokes. I'm probably making up jokes where they don't actually exist. So.
Yeah, Ben likes to pull anything he can think of, like anything that hits him. He'll pull a movie reference or a TV reference that's slightly similar but completely different to the conversation. But he'll mention it anyway, and it's like, that's not how that goes.
It's close enough.
It's not close enough.
Close enough.
And sorry guys, we got the hair dryer going on because I want to speed these along.
See, Izzy's the same way. I turn way too many things dirty.
Oh,
See?
it's not even about turning it dirty. It's like he'll actually mess up the quotes.
Well, everybody does that. I mean, come on, that's just life.
But the quote doesn't even necessarily fit in directly into the conversation.
I thought it did. We all know I'm the most important one in the conversation, so...
Yeah, we really couldn't have a conversation without you for like the hour you were gone.
I know. What did you do without me?
I know.
It's okay, I'm back to save you.
Yes. Yeah, actually, Craig, Vince, Vince that I absolutely love and think is one of the most amazing miniature painters ever. Not to mention an absolutely fantastic guy because he is.
And why don't you marry him?
Because I'm married to you.
And he's married to somebody else.
Yes, he is. I think he even has kids.
Which is a deal breaker.
It is, actually. I'm fine with kids. I like kids. Other people's, not mine. I don't need any.
Izzy says we cried mostly.
Yeah. Yep, we cried. We lamented. When will Ben be back? Where is he?
I know.
Oh no.
I know.
But anyway, Vince says that anything that goes on your base gets painted. Everything. So the tufts, the flock, all of that. He paints all of it. I think that's... It's definitely right because, all you have to do is look at his to see how good it looks, to know he's right. But at the same time, that's somewhat a little excessive. There it is. Okay. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. That is...
Christian says he'll send some pictures on Instagram of the figurines that my dad painted back then. One's made of tin and the Marauder from '94. What company makes the Vortex that you like? It's Joan Lab. JOANLAB.
We just got a generic one
Yeah,
off Amazon.
I think we paid $10 for it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So we did not get any specialty brand, anything special in any way, shape, or form. Just basically, will this work? Yes, it will. Perfect. We're done. Grab that. It's cheap enough. And that was all we did. And it's worked the whole time.
For years.
That was probably 4.5 years ago we got it. So.
Oh my, inflation is awful. Craig says they appear to be $30 now.
Oh. Look at Mini Vortex. Because I think that's what ours is technically a mini version. Where did my scissors go? There they are. Okay.
Nope, those are all like $30.
Wow.
Yep.
look for deals. Hold off, look for deals. Because I'll tell you, it is not something you absolutely need by any means. It just isn't. It is helpful, but it is not a necessity. So that would be my recommendation, is just
and I don't
hold off, look for sales on them.
And I don't think quality-wise, I'm pretty sure that they're all pretty similar. So I don't think, buying the highest price is going to accomplish much more. Izzy says, yeah, they're much more expensive now. Here's the one I have. She put up a link, so. Because we got the best people ever, obviously.
Well, yeah. Okay. Oh. So I was showing you the glue. So that's my little trick with the tufts. I put glue in the lid of, this is just like a garbage lid. I put the glue in there, and then I'm able to use the tweezers to dip the tuft into the glue and then place it where I want it. So, and then that's how they're going to look. Okay, and I have this one that I was saving. I'm going to do it over here.
Izzy says it looks so cool.
Look at that one, looks like it was run over. It was like designed to be that way. It just like fit so perfectly. I'm like, oh cool, I'm saving that one. Alright, last one. And I'm going to leave that. There we go. All right. So tufts are on. Paint
Craig says he's
done.
been cutting up his tufts to get more variety in their shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And Izzy says she'll be right back. She's probably got kids to deal with.
The nice thing about that one that I have is they actually come in different shapes. So like there's a couple of them that are long like this, which is what that one was as well. It just was smaller. So these are like, I didn't actually cut any of those. The only thing I cut was this one, and that was because part of it actually fell in the glue. So that meant it was going to turn white and stand out quite a bit, which it does have a little bit of white still. I didn't get all of it, but it's not that bad. It's not that noticeable. But they all have different shapes and things like that. So it depends on the brand you get. Some are very uniform, some have a lot of variance in the shapes. So, but yeah, the ones that I have that are all, when they're all the same, I'll cut them up too. So that's definitely good practice. All right, now it's time for the ultimate, the ever important black rim. Nothing says that your model is finished like the black rim. There we go. Look at how nice and neat that is. Now, personally, I never thought that it had to be black. Like, End of story. But once I got into commissions, I kind of gave in because most people do. They actually do have. In fact, there's a rule out there, like an unwritten rule that everyone lives by. It says you can paint the rim any color you want as long as it's black.
Much like Model T.
I have a client who wants rims different color for squads, and it kills me. See, I don't mind that personally, but since so many people do, I've just gotten in the habit of the black.
You can live with a warm dark brown.
Brown, okay. I've done some for like board games where they the pieces themselves had a little color piece that went around it, so I painted it to match those. So that way, if you ever lost those pieces, they were still the right colors. But yeah, I tend to go with the black just because everybody else tends to feel like it's so important. But for me, as long as it looks clean when you're done, like if I just did this like a dark brown, that would look really sharp, because of the top part of the base. It kind of blends together that way. But I do like that the black makes it look kind of finished, kind of polished, and sets it into its own little space. Like, here's the borders of this space. So, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you it has to be black. But, yeah, it's black. It's a black rim. And sometimes that is the most satisfying part of a model, because that signifies you're done now. It's done. So, and these are the last of my Impact Mini ones. So they'll go out. I actually got to take some photos tonight after stream. And then I will ship these out tomorrow so that they'll be at Adepticon on time. But, yeah, it's kind of sad, especially because this is going to be my last ones for a while. And then it's time for construction of the studio. We are expanding it, for those who don't know. I know we were talking about it earlier, but we are knocking down the wall and making the studio bigger. So, demolition. So, and I won't have anyone else's figures here while all the dust is being kicked up and things like that. I will still be painting, I will still be streaming, so don't worry, you guys won't miss me.
And she'll be doing videos. We'll try and stay on schedule for...
Yep. So, again, you guys won't miss me. I'll still be here. I'll still be around.
Maybe, just maybe, possibly, probably not, Tiamat will get finished.
We already talked about that one. Yes, Tiamat will get finished. Finally. Only took, was it 2 years? We're at 2 years.
I thought we were at 3 at this point.
I believe March officially marks the 3rd anniversary of my starting it.
So there you go.
Starts that 3rd year. So, yeah. Tomorrow night is patron stream. Yes, we will be on for patron stream.
I'm going to put up the link in a little while.
Something got messed up with the calendar, and Luke's one-on-one accidentally got scheduled when it was not supposed to be available, because that was supposed to be the patron stream. So we just moved the patron stream to Thursday for this week. So that's just for this month. Hopefully we'll get the calendar fixed. Did you do that yet?
No, we gotta get it
No, I
ready
didn't
for
think
next
you
month.
did.
So
So, yeah, we'll get that all fixed up. But yeah, unfortunately, Calendly just decided to totally mess up the dates. So
we'll get it figured out.
Irishman. I don't know, Craig. Here's the scarier part. Ben's not doing the majority of the demolition. Dan is.
We're doing it together.
So yeah, it's gonna be Ben and Dan tearing down the wall. Yeah, should be a really good time. I'm gonna be hiding upstairs. So, oh, you know what we should do? You should put the door on in the kitchen before you start, so that the cats can't get down here and bother you guys. You don't have to worry about the door.
No idea where that door is, so
It's in the garage.
It's not gonna happen.
It's in the garage. But yeah, Ben and Dan will be tearing down the wall. So fingers crossed I'll have a house when this is over.
You'll have a house.
Duct tape and plastic. Hey, duct tape and plastic are fabulous. I mean, come on, we paint plastic all the time. There's tons of plastic here. But, alright. So, give you guys final looks, how they come out.
Hey, Matt offered to help too, so you know.
Oh yeah, Matt's gonna help too.
If we invite him, you know, then it's up to him if he wants to help.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like demanding.
Oh no, but he offered, so.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this guy? Hold on, guys, I missed a spot. Oh,
Craig
shoot,
says the
that was
minis
too
look
much.
great and the close-ups were fantastic. Well, he said they look nice, so.
Too big. There we go. Alright, now we have a proper. I don't know. Look at that, now I'm learning that. Okay. Voila, there. Okay, officially done. How many people do that? Back and forth game. Not too bad, just a little bit, but yeah, so there we go. Now I got the eye done right. Alright, so there's that one. And I have this one here. I think that one's my favorite, actually. Hard to say, this one's fun too. I love the scar.
Izzy says back and forth game. She got the shaman finished. She'll get pictures tomorrow to show everyone.
Oh, awesome.
And Izzy says they're all awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Alright, so there's that. Patrons will be back tomorrow. So we'll see you then. I will be on the lookout for Christian's photos. Can't wait to see those. Oh, I love old school Warhammer. They're so awesome. And just like the old Warhammer or old school D&D. Oh man, you could tell I've been on for quite a bit now, having started early. But I do have to get these guys over to the photo studio, so I am going to head out here. So, and then we will be back next week at the same time. What do you like saying? Same mini time?
Same mini time, same mini channel.
There you go. Actually, well, today we were a little early, so not quite the same time, but the usual time.
Currently renovating Grandpa's old Howie room in the basement. Yeah, see?
Oh, how cool. That's gonna be awesome. All right. Well, I can't wait to see those. I want to thank y'all for joining me and keeping me company tonight, especially since somebody had to go. But until next time,
Have fun.
and keep creating.